So good morning, everyone. Happy Memorial Day for those of you who are in America, and for those of you around the world, happy Monday morning. My children asked me, Memorial Day, you're going to do the story as well? And I told them the truth of the matter is, Memorial Day now, other than the significance of the day of those who we memorialize, is no different than any other day. Everyone has been home, is home, and getting up in the morning to listen to a broadcast is not unusual. So here we are, 8:30 Monday morning. Although it's a holiday weekend, it's still a weekend in where we live and where we need our oxygen and inspiration to move forward. Before we begin, I would like to congratulate our J-Text winner from yesterday. Our winner is Candy Singer, who answered the question correctly. She was the seventh to answer it correctly, and she'll be getting her bottle of wine, hopefully before the holiday. And here's another time that I inspire or call on everyone to join this exciting activity. It takes a few minutes to sign up. It takes 2 minutes every Sunday and Wednesday, and you're joining a larger growing community of people who are participating in this exciting, quick, but very informative program. So if you haven't yet, sign up on jewishcenter.info/jtext, and you'll find all the information you need there. So today's story. I figured because it's a holiday weekend, we will keep it a little lighter in the story, but as impactful as ever in its message. So on November 18th, 1995, in the Avery Fisher Hall at Lincoln Center in New York, was not an unusual night. There was another concert, another symphony that featured world-renowned Itzhak Perlman. Now, whoever's been at an Itzhak Perlman concert knows that it doesn't begin like any other concert. There's a little drama that takes place, and that is Mr. Perlman how walks onto the stage. Now, we know that Yitzhak Perlman was struck with polio as a child, and therefore he has braces on his leg and walks with the aid of two crutches. And while the entire orchestra is already seated, before the beginning of the concert, Mr. Perlman walks across the stage very painfully, but majestically, until he reaches his chair. As Yitzhak Perlman sits down, he takes off his braces, he puts down his sticks under the chair, moves one foot to the back, one foot to the forward, bends down, picks up his violin, puts it under his chin, and nods to the conductor to begin. And this is the ritual that goes on at every Yitzhak Perlman concert when he's playing with a symphony. This night was no different. What was different this evening was what happened just as they went a few bars into the presentation. And instantly, at that moment, one of the strings on Yitzhak Perlman's violin snaps. And it was like gunfire across the room. Everyone heard that snap. Everyone heard how that there's no mistake to anybody that this was a problem, that one of the four strings which create the beautiful sound of Yitzhak Perlman's violin broke. And everyone stopped. And everyone imagined what would happen next. Mr. Perlman will get up, go off the stage, either pick up another one of his favorite violins, or get another string, fix it, and come back on. But that's not what happened. What happened was Yitzhak Perlman closes his eyes for a moment, composes himself, turns to the conductor, and nods to begin. And the orchestra begins right where they left off, with such beautiful music, with such passion, with such purity. Now, of course, anyone knows, you know this, I know this, that if you cannot play symphonic music without four strings on the violin. But that night, Yitzhak Perlman refused to know that. And you can see that in his mind, he's modulating and changing and recomposing a piece in his head. And at one point, you could even see him untuning, in a sense, the strings to create a different kind of sound to compensate for that lost string. And the music just continued to flow as if nothing happened. Almost a miracle, because you cannot create symphonic music with 3 strings. But Mr. Perlman had this passion for the song. He was so deeply rooted to his music that he was able to create the new tunes that would be able to compensate, and not only compensate for the lost string, but to create a whole new, fresh kind of music with such purity and beauty that he was never ever able to play. As they finished this song, there's a silence in the room, and immediately the whole hall erupts in such cheer and applause, and everybody's just so excited. They get on their feet because they realize that they saw a musical miracle right in front of their eyes. And as the clapping and the applause are going up and up and up, Yitzchak Perlman takes his bow and just quiets everyone down. And he says the following. He says, sometimes it's the artist's task to find out how much music you can still make with what you have left. And I'm going to repeat that. Sometimes it's the artist's task to find out how much music you can still make with what you have left. Here is a person who his whole life trained to play music on a violin with 4 strings. And he didn't just train as a child. He didn't just train as a young adult, but as a professional musician and a professional artist. He trains every day for hours. It's just part of his whole life, his muscle memory, as we call it, how to produce music out of 4 strings. To instantly be put in the challenge to create the music at 3 strings, even for the greatest artist, is a change, is an upset, so to speak. But a true artist is not the artist who plays with what he has, plays with the melodies that he has. A true artist is an expression of his soul, and he finds with what he has to be able to express that. The instrument is merely a tool of expressing a greater, deeper spiritual experience that the artist goes through. Whether it's a violin, whether it's a brush, whether it's a canvas, whether it's strings on a violin. The artist just uses the component to express something deeper. And when you are creating music or art from that deeper place in yourself, even when there's a change, a drastic change that you've never prepared for, you're able to express it and find a way to express it, even if one of the strings snap in the middle of the concert. I find the story to be truly inspirational, because I think in our lives, we all had a string snap recently, personally and collectively as a people. Everything we've trained for, the whole rhythm of our life, all of a sudden became disrupted. And we have a choice. We can walk off and try to fix the situation, or we can just continue going and realizing that this is now an opportunity to create a new type of music, to create a new type of expression, a new type of form of expressing, not changing yourself, but just finding a different way how to express yourself. And of course, that requires a deeper understanding of who you are, and what you're meant to be. And when you realize that's not the stuff that you have that makes you who you are, that's merely the tools that God gives you to express what is meant for you to accomplish, then when one of your strings snap, when things are taken away from us, we continue to produce our special music, and we find a way to do it with what we have. So as we begin this week, a week of new experiences, of new changes, of new challenges, of new struggles, of new opportunities, let us consistently be in tune with our soul, consistently be in tune with our true and deep passions, and not be discouraged by the snap of a string, but to see it as a different opportunity, a different way to express your soul's deep music. And of course, you can always come to our classes. You can always come to our sessions in the morning, in the evening, afternoon, morning. There's so much going on because we're not asking you, we're not teaching you information. That we're giving you tools that allow you to express, first to tap into your soul, to understand your soul, to understand your true passion and your true mission, and thereby being able to continue your life's true purpose regardless of the snap of a string. So, virtualjewishcenter.org. We have full range of classes this week. We have baking classes, pre-Shavuot experiences, daily understanding, daily activities. We have children's activities, teen activities. It's all going on. As I said last week, Lubavitch of Bucks County is not going to reopen because we never closed. We just moved location online and still able to communicate and be with you. So have a wonderful day. Try to dig deep into yourself and realize that what you have is merely the tool to express your deeper self, your deeper purpose, and your deeper mission. Have a wonderful day and a very, very successful week. Sei gesund.